It is that time on a Wednesday night, and you are in the place to be. Flipside TV. The date is April 28th, 2021. And this is your Wednesday comic book presser. The voice behind the mic is the might of Ultra Maximus. And by the way, this badass logo you're seeing? Yeah, that's done by Mr. Eric Hurd. You can follow him on IG at HurdSEric, and you want to be following this guy. And also, if you need any graphics work, please be sure to hit him up for that. Sure, he wouldn't mind the assist. And the tunes you hear in the background of my videos are done by White Bat Audio. And of course, you can follow me on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. Guys, I really need to thank you because we have broken the 500 subscriber base. And that means I'm going to be revealing the Ultra Box. So you're going to want to subscribe to my own channel, as well as follow me on IG. You'll be happy you did. But tonight, we are over here on Tales from the Flipside, and this is, of course, your Wednesday night comic book presser. And you know what that means? I'm going to spoil you in more ways than one. I hope to be able to spoil you with a little bit of just, entertainment and a little bit of comic book news. And give me a second while I take a sip from my pressed coffee. And Real Ridge 6, we really appreciate you. And Tom, I don't know how you're falling asleep. Anyway, we're going to get into this because I got people waiting on me, huh? I appreciate you guys waiting. And for all you know that this press conference is interactive. Their super chats are active, but not required. And then for all of you guys who are following along, Tales from the Flipside is happy to announce that we do have a promo code for you to use on Key Collector Comics. And I want to give a shout out to Wanted Comics for, well, let's just say lots of things. And you're going to want to pay attention to that name, Wanted Comics, throughout this broadcast. But this is the Wednesday night comic book presser. And this Raw report for April 28th, 2021 brings you our top story. And what exactly is our top story, you say? Well, first off, hello everybody. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. We've got live listeners in here 3 minutes in, and Tom said he's waking up. So, wake up, Tom. Anyway, so our top story, of course, is the final review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Of course, Drunken Chat got so lit on Friday night, we didn't even talk about this, and it's been almost a week, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it here. And first off and foremost, everybody needs to pay attention to what this lady just said to John Walker at the end there. She said it's going to get weird. It's going to get weird, everybody. Are you all ready? How weird is it gonna get? Well, safe to say she's probably a Skrull. Safe to say Sharon Carter's probably a Skrull. That's one of Ultra's calls right here. I'm thinking that Sharon Carter probably got snapped and a Skrull took her place, and then when she got brought back, they probably took her to the moon. And the whole joke about the moon, I think that may very well be where all the Skrulls are keeping all of the people who they have snapped away and then or replaced. So hey man, look, and Jamie, I'm sorry to hear this, but you know what? I have a feeling that you're gonna be okay. And you know what? My show will hopefully make you feel better. If it doesn't make you feel good about missing those books, then you know what? There's always eBay. and there is always other ways of obtaining those things, my man. So let the chat know what you're missing, or what you were supposed to get in your poll, and I'm sure somebody will try to find a way to help you out. And then thanks for spoiling the future of the MCU. Yeah, well, you kind of get that with speculation around here, and again, there's just some obvious things that I catch. And one of the things that I caught at one point, Baron Zemo said to Captain America, who's blonde-haired and blue-eyed, and he goes, I noticed a little bit of hint of green in that blue. He said, it's nice to know there's a flaw. So what if Cap was a Skrull? How about that for mind-blowing future drawing? Thank you again for joining on live chat. I really do appreciate you guys joining, because this is, like I said, the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser. Not only do I hope to bring you guys a little bit of comic book and entertainment news, I also hope to bring you the goods when it comes to new releases, covering some books that may be speculation calls, and then of course giving you the deep dive back on some things, and then of course circling back around to what was on FOC. So we had a FOC that was pretty gnarly, and I will remind you guys to stick around for the remainder of the program, because the FOC will be probably the last segment of the show. But let's get through this, because I know you guys want to talk more about this, and I do too. But you know what? I'm so sad that we're going to have to retire the Dancing Zemo, because the Dancing Zemo is probably the best GIF on the internet, and the hour-long cut that's on YouTube is probably got a ton of views already. So if you haven't seen the cut on YouTube, and let's just say you're in your studio and you're working on some presentation for your show or whatever, and you just need some cool techno mixes that aren't white bat audio, then I can understand if you needed to take a break from all the hotness that white bat provides. Go ahead and try that Dancing Zemo. It's pretty lit. Oh yeah, by the way, we have a brand new Captain America, and I hope you all weren't really too surprised by this, because let's just be honest, most of the people who are watching the presser here have been hardcore comic book fans for a long time. You guys knew that eventually they were going to get here. I'm glad they got here sooner than later. It's kind of good to actually have the MCU kind of catch up to where they are now in a lot of books, and I'm looking forward to a lot of the stories. But you guys know that if you followed me on Drunken Chat, I keep on talking about all new, all different Avengers. And because that's the Lady Thor, and Sam Wilson, Captain America Avengers team, and I really think that team's probably on the way. But I could be wrong. But anyway, again, I want to thank you all for joining in the live chat. You all mean the world to this show. So as we go through, please tell me how you feel about these next couple of things. Because I, for one, I was really looking forward to some other books taking the place of this one, and with sales from $49.99 all the way up over $100, there's no way to tell what's up with this book. There's also a lot of people who are sitting on a lot of copies thanks to an FOC that took over 2 months. And then a reminder for everybody who sees a store exclusive for Silk number 2, I would absolutely be hitting them up and asking them, hey, when are you going to sell those 1 in 25s? Sorry, I had to sip my coffee. That wasn't, a tea sipping moment. But my book of the week choice has reasons. 1, because I slept on it. 2, because Mel told me not to sleep on it. 3, because I had an opportunity to buy it for $31, and I had it in the cart, and I decided, I don't need to buy any books from this store, including that one, and decided to invest my new comic book day funds elsewhere. And boy, did that come back to bite me in the butt really hard, because this one's hardcore, everybody. And shout out to Mighty Mel V of Drunken Chat, because he's begging me to do a spec matrix on Raza, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the guy has over 400 credits. So we'll see. Maybe in the long distance future, when you guys forget about Raza and forget about me even mentioning it, we can go down that route. But everybody, let's get into this. New releases, Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser. And here we go, starting off with our Cerebus and the Aardvark Venaheim. You get the Cerebus, the Duck one-shot. That is all. Alright, so Ablaze. And if you aren't tracking what I have been talking about on Drunken Chat and other places before, Mirka Andolfo, does she transcend all cultures? Well, we're about to find out, because this is one of her properties, and she's got another property with Image being reproduced in English, as well as having an animated series done. But I believe the animated series is going to be in Italy. I'm not sure how that's going down, but so there was actually a trade dress on this cover B. But, and of course, Code Red Comics is commenting that there is a first appearance in Black Widow number 6 today. So no wonder why that one's doing so well. Anytime that happens, you know. But this one right here, this one's kind of scandalous, don't you think? Shout out to Lucas from Comic Crusaders and Drunken Chat. That was his exact quote on this cover. Scandalous cover. And then this will give you guys a little bit of context of what's going on here. So, devils and angels getting married and having children in this world that this book takes place in. And what you have in the foreground is the mom, Angela, with her daughter, Eve. And then you have the father in the back on the right-hand side, the same side as Eve, and that's Damio. And then on the left-hand side, you have a old rival of his who's trying to date his daughter. So think about that one for a minute there. And Damio's a perv, as you can tell, but Angela, she's good, you know, and she is Daddy's little angel, and she pulls off the Harley Quinn really well. The 1 in 10, the 1 in 10's out there, right? This one is the 1 in 20, and this one is the Virgin cover, and this is him expressing himself, and of course you see the shirt that says Perv. That's a Mirka Andolfo variant, and then of course this 30 copy Andolfo negative variant. I left one on the shelf because it had like 4 bad spine breaks on it that broke color, and it's just such an eyesore. And I do want to give a shout out to the retailer Third Eye Comics, who told me about my copy being banged up before they sent it, and they're like, hey, we're going to replace it for you. You know, it may take a little while, but we're going to take good care of you. So I wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out and thank them for also honoring a pretty good sale price. And so next up is Action Lab, and of course Action Lab gives us titles that you all know and love, such as Vamp Blade. And you know what Vamp Blade likes to do. A little bit of danger, a little bit of warning, a little bit of danger. So you guys like danger, right? You like to live dangerously? Well, there's tons of that. And Vamp Blade is going to offer many covers of all of that. So here's cover E and F, and then of course we're down to G, which is going to be a Virgin variant, and then H is going to be your Virgin Risque, and then next up is Zombie Tramp, giving us number 79, cover A, doing the same stuff. Risque on opposite of each variant, so A, B, C, D, and E, and then here is your cover F. And that's going to round that out. But Action Lab, of course, has a non-risque, basically, imprint. And you can tell by the difference in color. So the Danger Zone is going to, of course, have the yellow Action Lab on it. I believe all the ones that have this little blue with the dog are a little bit more friendly. All right. Next up, we have Aftershock, who says they are shattering their expectations. And I Breathe the Body number 4. Nuclear Family number 3. Shadow Doctor number 3. Next up we have Ahoy. Happy Hour number 6. Intense. American Mythology Productions. Giving us Bedtime Stories, Impressionable Children Annual. Number 1. Here's your cover B. And beware the Toothpick Warriors. Hatchet Vengeance Bloody Warrior, the limited edition cover. And then Hatchet Vengeance number 3, cover A. Number 3, cover... we'll just say it's cover B. I don't know the order. I think they might have messed up the order because that was kind of out of order there. Robotic Stooges Return, cover A. Cover B. And then cover C is your black and white limited edition. Well, we're not done. That fresh pressed coffee is kicking in. And starring Sonia Devereaux, Death Team 5, number 1. So, there you go, Death Team 5. Oh, and then look, it's got a red Sonia swipe. Zorro in the Land, That Time Forgot, number 4, cover A. And number 4, cover B. And why don't you take a pause here for a second, because I have an animal that is knocking down the studio door that I got to take care of. Ah, just in time. See? Change of music, just in time as we approach Archie Comics. Archie Jumbo Comics Digest, number 319. Artists, Writers, and Artisans. Erratic, number 5. Black Mask. Destiny, New York, number 2. Broadsword Comics. Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, number 127. And then there's a 10 copy incentive. Wild. Coffin Comics. Hell Witch Hellborn number 1, black and white edition. And then the Lady Death Swimsuit One-Shot Premiere Edition. Woo. Fantagraphics. Rockets. Heavy Metal. Cold Dead War number 2. Modern Frankenstein number 1. There's a 10 copy incentive. Keen Spot. Whew. And also on the scandalous list from my buddy over there, Lucas at Drunken Chat and Comic Crusaders, is Ninjas and Robots number 6. And then number 6, cover B. And then number 6, free 5 copy incentive. Mad Cave. I actually was able to nab one of these today for cover price. I couldn't believe the LCS had them. Should have grabbed 2, but I didn't. That was a good book. I had to grab a second print because I missed out on the first totally. Scout Comics. Frank at Home on the Farm, number 4. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. You know what? I got cats named after Transformers. I think that would be a good battle. That'd be a good versus book. Snatch number 1. And this is one of the reasons why I cut my own hair. Stake number 2. And then here's your cover B. Black Cotton number 1, second print. Cranking on through these indies. We're up to Source Point Press. And they're offering of 20 Fists, number 1 of a 3-issue miniseries. And then we got Cult of Dracula number 2. Cover A. They also offered this cover B by Shannon Mayer. And then Damned Cursed Children number 4. But don't confuse it with the wonderful Frank Gogol book, Dead End Kids, Suburban Job, number 4. And then for this book, the only incentive offering there was for Source Point this week was this Dead End Kids, Suburban Job, number 4 of 4, cover B, Kincaid 1 in 5 incentive. So all 4 of this issue, 4-issue miniseries has this incentive cover with one of the Dead End Kids. So for all you chasers, good luck to you out there. For all you set collectors, I hope you got them. 8th Immortal, number 4 of 4. And then Era of Great Wonders, number 5 of 6. And then another 4-issue miniseries in its final issue is Warcorns Combat Unicorns for Hire, which I want to give a shout out to the comic book women. You should go back and check out their interview with Garrett, the writer. It's great, great, great entertainment. Valiant. And this one got tricky because first up, you got a number 1 cover A. You got a number 1 cover B. You got a number 1 cover C. And then you got a number 1 cover D. Now, there was announced a 1 in 250 black glass variant. Can that book, on its debut a week after release of the regular issue, make it to the top spot and be the book of the week for next week? Because this book, so let me take a pause here real quick. This book does actually debut next week. So if you think that that book has a chance, there's a bunch of very expensive buy it nows available. It's black glass. So good luck. I wonder, how many 10.0s there are going to be, if there is a possible of having a 10.0. And if there isn't a 10.0, do you polish the glass? Like, how does that work, right? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to improve the grade. So I'm very, very much wondering who's after that book, and I want to remind you guys, this is a 1 in 250 incentive copy for Shadow Man. Has a following. Yes, it does. And wow, chat, you guys are lit tonight. I'm definitely going to circle back and give my shout outs to all you guys. We're going to do that towards the end of the show, though. So light it up, and if I can catch a comment here and there, I'm going to do my best to try. But right now, I'm trying to just bring you guys the best in the entertainment. I want to remind you guys right now to, please hit that like button. Don't forget to leave me a comment if you're watching this on Rewind. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and click the subscribe button first off, and then hit that notification bell for notifications from when we go live, because we do things silly here. We got giveaways, we got spec information, we got all sorts of stuff, and you know what? Sometimes pressing coffee. And yes, all my coffee cups are massive. They're the equivalent of about 3 normal cups of coffee. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so where's my controls? Oh, here we go. Don't you hate it when you lose control? Vault giving us some goods. Shadow Service number 7, cover A. Cover B. And then Witchblood number 1, cover G, second printing. Witchblood number 2 on the same day, cover A. Witchblood cover B. Witchblood number 2, cover C. That's going to round it out for them. But Wake Publishing, Essentia. And shout out to everybody who paid attention to FOC and got that Essentia number 5 Perillo Virgin. Probably going to be a pretty rare book. And if you got the Essentia ability to go back issue diving, Jim Lee did a variant for number 1. Zenoscope giving us Bell, King of the Serpents, one shot. And then we got a cover B. And then King of the Serpents, one shot, cover C by Nakayama. Grim Universe presents Quarterly Steampunk. And then cover B for the Steampunk. Cover C. That's going to round it out for the Zenoscope stuff. And again, at this time, I want to take a reminder for, reminder spot. And Azor is my man. I suit up for the presser every week, man. This is what I do. I used to do it back in the days when I was on Unpressable, just because I would get out of work real late, and it just didn't make sense to change clothes. You know what I mean? But classing it up in this joint. I tried to. But appreciate everybody who lets me come on in my pajamas. And don't forget right now, Tales from the Flipside has got an offering where you can get 2 free weeks of Key Collector comics if you use the promo code Flipside. And Wanted Comics. We got something coming up with Wanted Comics. I hope you guys like Wanted Comics, because there's going to be something good coming up. And I'm going to remind you right now that if you are not subscribed over to Mighty Mel V, you're going to want to check it out, because the horrific cover reveal will happen this weekend. So make sure you are subscribed over there, because when Wanted Comics drops this, we've only got 2 more issues to go, and Drew kind of let it out the bag. He's like, oh yeah, you guys are going to get a full set. And his variant covers have been ultimate insanity as far as I'm concerned. So I want to thank Drew for that, and of course the previous giveaways that we've been able to give away with his variants. Drew is a wonder for the community, and if you don't shop Wanted Comics, well, you are doing yourself a disservice. All right, everybody, we're into the major pubs. First up, we got Boom, which is going to give us the offering of Abbott 1973, number 4. And there's a ton of variants for this one. Cover B. Cover C. Jen Bartel. Jen Bartel. Up again. Unlockable. Variant. I'm not Devo, so I don't know if I pulled that off real well. But here we go, everybody. Berserker number 1, third. But we all knew it. 10,000 copies. Allocations. Saw the book dropping down to like 50, 60. In IG, some places were selling it real cheap. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who honored their orders of the book. Oh, and by the way, that's why I'm going to give Wanted Comics a shout out, is because they did honor their orders of the book. Their pre-orders were honored. Gotta love retailers that keep their word. And then Berserker number 2, cover A by Grandpa. And then we're going to see these images multiple times, because cover B by Albuquerque was also going to be another cover D, but wait, cover C is a foil of cover A, just like cover D is a foil of cover B. 25 copy incentive. Okay, pretty dope. riding a horse. 50 copy incentive by Grandpa. 150 copy incentive by Albuquerque. And then a 250 copy incentive by Leon. Now, it was probably already spoken for at both stores, so I did not see a 1 per store offering on this book. If there was a 1 per store, leave me a comment below. Or if you're in the live chat and you saw one, let me know what you saw. Let me know how it looks. Let me know what it was. If it was this cover, if it was the 250 copy incentive, half colorized, please let me know, because that's definitely a book people who probably got the 1 per store for number 1 are going to be chasing as well. Now, Dune, in its mini-series out by Boom, number 6, cover A. And then the Frisian cover B. And then after Frisian cover B, we've got the cover C, which is your 25 copy incentive. And then the 50 copy Frisian black and white. Man, Frisian, Boom and Frisian are hurting you guys if you are completionists. Oh. All right. We got Firefly, number 28, cover A. Got your cover B by Ruben. Your 10 copy incentive. 25 copy incentive by Mare. And then, of course, the 50 copy is a virgin version of that one. Unlockable, cover F. Magic the Gathering number 1, second printing. And I believe the only new release I was not able to obtain a cover for was the Magic the Gathering number 1, cover B, the Planeswalker replacement. If you could, let me know what this was in the stores, because they might have overshipped one of the variants last time, and I think this might have been a replacement for those overships, because they basically, it was supposed to be a salted order, right? Like, there's 2 different Planeswalker variants, and they were supposed to mix it up a bunch. And I think they got it wrong, and this is the replacement variant. So, if that is correct, then we already have seen the cover art for this one, and I'm not missing something, but I'm always interested in finding out missing cover art. Alright, Once and Future is up to issue number 18, and that Kryptonite Green sword, he's jabbing through something that's doesn't look human. But that's your cover A by Mora. Here's your 10 copy incentive. And here is your 25 copy incentive. That's a pretty wicked looking cover. I will give it that. Delayed from last week. Power Rangers number 6, cover C. The green sketch variant cover. It's going to round it out for Boom. Dark Horse Comics. Critical Role, Vox Machina, Origins 3, number 2. Man, I stuck the landing on that, huh? Alright. And then Cyberpunk 2077, You Have My Word, number 1. And in true Cyberpunk fashion, the comic book is always better than a video game because they warranted a second series. Now we got cover B. Dragon Age, Dark Fortress number 2. That was a sick looking fade with the swords on the center right there, right? Dynamite. Pardon me. Need to clear my throat. Maybe take a sip of water instead of the coffee. Alright. Dage of Thoris, Winter's End, one shot. And then we got Winter's End one shot cover B. Cover C. Cosplay. One shot premium. Castro black and white. Red Sonja and the Superpowers number 2. Linsner CGC cover. And then the Superpowers number 4. Lau limited version cover. Then the Linsner limited version cover, but that looks more like Perillo to me. And that's why I messed up and must have copied over. So that's Perillo's limited version cover. And the editorial edit fail of the night. But still, leave me a like. It's good to know that I'm human, huh? The Red Sonja and the Superpowers number 4 Linsner limited version cover. And Berserker cover A at your LCS. And Big Remo, I believe that's the 1 in 250, isn't it? Or if that is Berserker cover A, okay, that is the 1 per store. Alright, cool, man. Good. So it was by Grandpa, huh? Oh, that one's by Grandpa. I get what you're saying. Thank you for that one, Big Remo. Appreciate that, man. And then, let's see here. Sonja Versal CGC cover. And then the Linsner cover. Also CGC. And then the Lee limited version cover for Sonja Versal number 3. Linsner limited version. Vampirilla versus Purgatory number 2. Here is your Virgin FOC bonus variant. Vampirilla and the Dark Powers number 2 Lee CGC variant. And then here's your Linsner CGC variant for Vampirilla and the Dark Powers number 2. Vampirilla and the Dark Powers number 5 limited Lee Virgin. Linsner limited version cover for Dark Powers number 5. U limited version cover. Vampirilla vs. Purgatory number 2 cover A by Derek Chu. Cover B. Cover C. Cover D. Cover E. Here's your bonus FOC variant. I really like this one. That's artistically Blood Red Moon, Vampirilla on top of the water, Purgatory and her reflection. That's just good work right there. So shout out to Maine, not to be confused with our drunken chat buddy Comics Maine, spelling it with a M-A-Y-N-E. Vampirilla vs. Purgatory number 2 premium FOC variant. Oh, and there's that Virgin. It's so nice I put it on the list twice. Don't you like it when Ultra does extra work? Vampirilla vs. Purgatory 10 copy incentive. And then there's an 11 copy Fox Black and White. 15 copy. 20. Oh, 30. Oh, wait. 40. And 7. And I missed the slide. I got it backwards. See, look at this. I got it backwards. Oh, see? Let's do this. Let's break this one right. See if I can do it quickly. Nah, couldn't do it quick enough. G.I. Joe Real American Hero giving you the Baroness on cover A. Oh, look. There's Baroness again on cover B. And then, believe it or not, that is not a Jeff Scott Campbell cover. But this is your 10 copy incentive. My Little Ponies Transformers 2 number 1. There's your cover A by Tony Flex. Cover B by Bethany McGuire Smith. And then there's your 10 copy incentive, which is your RIA. And then your retail incentive B, your 25 copy incentive by Anna Malkova. Usagi Yojimbo, Wanderer's Road, number 6 of 6. Peach Momoko doing all 6 A covers and no variants as far as I remember. I don't even think there was a variant for number 1. Maybe there was. If there was, leave me a comment below. Let me know what that variant was and if what you think of it. And if there's anything that you have seen thus far on the program that I should be reading, definitely leave me a comment in the live chat or below. And if you leave comments below, I would be happy to reply. And let's engage in conversation. We can make YouTube the place where we can all engage in comic book conversation as well after watching these videos. Let's have a good time. And thank you again for watching Flipside, and of course for watching this evening. Here we go with Bitterroot number 12. Probably should have bought more of those. Crossover number 6. There's your cover B, blank cover. Cover C by Erik Larsen. Your cover D. Your 5 copy incentive. Your 10 copy incentive. 25 copy incentive. 50 copy incentive. And then, of course, the 100 copy incentive by Erik Larsen. Deadly Class number 45, featuring an appearance of a Nirvana t-shirt on the cover. Deadly Class number 45, cover B. Cover C. Department of Truth number 8. Here's your cover A. Department of Truth cover B. And your Department of Truth cover C. Geiger number 1, second print. And they offered a 25 copy incentive to go along with that second print number 1. And man, it sure is becoming more and more commonplace to have incentive offerings on second printings. Helm Grey Castle giving us a bunch of good covers. There was your cover A, and here's your cover B. Helm Grey Castle cover C. And then cover D. Outcast, number 48. Shadecraft, number 1, second print. And also, on release of day 2, Shadecraft, number 2. Cover A. Cover B by Lotte. Spawn, 317, cover A. Cover B by McFarlane. Cover C by Matina. And that's actually supposed to be the black and white one. And my apologies for not having the actual black and white one here. But this was your black and white Spawn. Stray Dogs number 2, second print. Summoner's War Legacy number 1. Two Moons number 3. Cover B. It's going to round it out for Image. DC Comics. Action Comics, 1030, cover A. 1030, cover B. Tedesco. It's a really cool variant. Batman Black and White, number 5, cover A by Lee Weeks. Oh, and here's another book for you Jenny Frisian chasers. And then cover C by Gary Frank. It says Riddler variant, but I'll back it up real quick. That happens to be, Batman about to really hurt the Riddler. Batman Superman number 17. And then here's your cover B. Good work. Detective Comics 1034 second print. 1035 cover A. Dan Mora. Cover B by Bermejo. Harley Quinn number 2. Derek Chew cardstock. Nightwing 78 second print. Robin number 1. Wraparound Robin number 1. Robin number 125 copy, Federici cardstock variant. Robin number 1, cover D, Kubert, 250 qualifier. So that MOQ means minimum order qualifier. So stores had to order 250 copies of the cover A and the cover B. So 125 a piece just to be able to unlock the ability to order this book. But you could have done it. Small stores could have done it. And if they do it on a big book, is it going to be a hit? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about that, because I really think that some of these team variants, as they're calling them, or 250 qualifier variants, is an old Marvel play. And as you guys know, if you follow Drunken Chat and, of course, my channel and the Spec Matrix, you guys know I follow qualifier variants really, really closely from my tenure working in an LCS and dealing with these things. And the spec value on qualifiers is that sometimes they do become less common than the incentives. So this is the reason why I'm very intrigued to know, and I'd really like to get your sampling if you could. Ruby Justice League, of course, with a Merca and Dolfo cover, dropping fire, of course, for those of you who love the anime universe style DC crossover book. And then we got the cover B. Teen Titans Academy number 2, but cover A by Rafa Sandoval. And then your cover B was your Philip Tan cardstock variant. The mystery of Red X continues. They're really going to drag this thing out. I kid you guys not. All right, Marvel, which means we haven't even got to the meat and potatoes portion of the program tonight, but you guys are warm with me, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in. 65 live viewers at this time in the program. Oh, just bounced up 2 more. As you guys like to return, somebody must have sent the text out. He's at Marvel. Let's get going. Alien number 1, second print, LaRocca variant. But then there was also an incentive by Gleason, and this one sold out pretty quickly at a lot of places. Beta Ray Bill number 2, because yeah, a lot of places still had covers of the first print. Beta Ray Bill number 2 of 5, and then this one was followed up with a Paul Pope incentive. Next up, Black Widow cover A by Adam Hughes, and everybody's like, wait, that's an Adam Hughes cover? I'm like, yeah, that's an Adam Hughes A cover. And then this version of Blade, the Heroes Reborn version of Blade here. I don't know if they're going to count that or people are going to start looking for this, but he's wearing a cross. What's going on there? All these Heroes Reborn variants are hopefully going to pay off when Heroes Reborn actually comes out. Black Widow number 6, the Casagrande design variant. And then, of course, Book of the Week here on the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, Black Widow number 6, Raza. Phil Noto continuing to just absolutely just fire covers, excellent detail, all around just great imagery from him. So shout out to Phil Noto. Thank you for delivering on one of my favorite characters. Fantastic Four number 31. Mark Brooks. And then of course the Heroes Reborn variant. Miles Morales number 25. A book that I did not grab any copies of today because I saw so many on the shelf, and I kind of had to throw my hand up and do the nah. But if it's a good read, I really want to know. But I think I already can kind of tell how his Clone Saga is going to go, if they're going to mirror all the things Peter Parker has already done. I want to see them do some new and exciting stories with Miles and not have him be derivative. I want Miles to be more than just somebody else who is Spider-Man from a different universe. And I get the different universe thing, and they want him to have similar experiences to Peter that mold him into Spider-Man. But I want to see Miles be a good Spider-Man on his own, as well as be a good person on his own, without having to copy whatever Peter's done. But some of these Skyline variants, man, I know some of you guys are chasing these. Good luck to keeping that set together with spawns and all sorts of other stuff. And of course, Rob Liefeld giving us a Deadpool 30th anniversary with Miles and Deadpool. And then, of course, the Heroes Reborn variant. I don't know what to say about this one, but I guess we'll find out when Heroes Reborn drops. The Verege variant. The Pacelli variant, which I think is probably the better one. It should have been the 1 in 50, but that's your 1 in 25, and this is your 1 in 50. Oh, and this was a good read, and I didn't add it actually onto the read pile tonight because I didn't have time to get everything in there. I kind of had to settle for what I had done, and here on the presser, I don't like having to settle for anything, but I will tell you this, it's a good explanation, and I'll probably do some follow-up elsewhere, so make sure you subscribe to Ultra Maximus. New Mutants number 17, and then the Bob McLeod variant. But the Christian Ward A cover probably should have been the incentive there. Savage Avengers number 20 with a symbiote-infused Conan fighting Spider-Man? Savage Avengers number 20's variant cover. Now, yes, open order, but yes, sold out at Diamond. Thank you, Drew from Wanna Comics, for that informational news. Silk number 2 of 5. Oh, the Besh 1 in 25 incentive variant. And then, of course, don't forget, those are the only 2 covers that were offered by Marvel. So if you see another cover, it's a store exclusive. If you click on like the store name, if you happen to be shopping on eBay, it's a good idea to search other items, see what else they have listed, and they may have that Besh variant for you at a reasonable rate. I know right now there's a ton of inflation going on with it. People are trying to move it at high prices, and it looks like some people are getting it, but I think that that's a book worth holding out on. Spider-Man Curse of the Man-Thing number 1 Bradshaw variant. Star Wars Darth Vader number 11. And the Empire Strikes Back variant of that book. Oh, speaking of Empire Strikes Back, we got the 40th anniversary to Empire Strikes Back number 1. And the movie poster variant. The Marvels number 1. Number 1 Pacheco variant. And then, honestly, what I was really, really hoping would be more fire behind it and just more sales data to track, more information on it, but the Del Otto variant could have very well have been the book of the week. It was close, it really, really was. Lots of fire books from Marvel this week, though, and then, of course, the Epting variant for this one, not too shabby. U.S. Agent number 5. And then your Renaud variant. X-Men Legends. Walt Simonson cover A, right? And then your John Tyler Christopher action figure variant with the Beast in his X-Factor brown and yellow. And then X-Men Legends number 3 connecting variant cover. All right, everybody. So at this time, I want to remind you, why am I giving away a whole bunch of stuff? Well, because I've been shopping at places like Wanna Comics, and I built a really, really sick collection over the time. And I really want to remind you guys that I'm trying to give away some of my own books in that box, but Wanna Comics helped me build it. So that's part of it, but I'll remind you a little bit later what's up with that Ultra box. But it was a little bit of a teaser. But leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know what you think of the segments. Let me know what books you picked up this week. Let me know if there's something I missed besides one of those one per store variants that they are obviously not telling people about on any of the listings. Let's get into the Raw Report update. And the Raw Report update this week is going to be short and sweet, but with some goods. ESPN, and I know there's a lot of guys here who watch Flipside for the sports content because a lot of sports cards people. I'm not much of a sports guy unless it's got a motor involved. So, and it's usually, a 200 plus mile an hour on the back straight of Circuit de la Sarthe. So, and if you follow along with exactly what I just said there, and you are down with Lamar, Sebring, and things like that, we speak a language outside of comic books, but we share comic books in that. That's pretty cool. If not, I know some of my sports following friends are going to dig these because, of course, look what they have here. Top 2021 NFL draft prospects get the Marvel Comics cover treatment. So there you go. There's a Zach Wilson taking the Captain America spot. And then the Slim Reaper. Oh, these are good. These are so good. So if you wanted to see this the full set and full screen, please go and visit ESPN. And I mean, some of these are like recent covers too. So recent covers getting swiped by some of these NFL people was pretty good. Whoever was in our marketing team obviously dabbles in a little bit of both and hopefully watches some of our stuff. So shout out to the marketing team over at ESPN for doing this one and the NFL Network. If you are fans of comic books and you are watching Flipside, we are fans of this, obviously. And these are just great. So there we go. All right, so let's turn it up a notch. Kick that beat. It has begun. And I'm not talking about Mortal Kombat yet. Free Comic Book Day 2021 features all new stories starring the Avengers, Spider-Man, and more. And yeah, there you go. So there's your two covers from Marvel Comics. All the rest of the indies are going to be available through previews. That's going to be in August. So, but check out Gleason's work on that Amazing Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day. And, you know, I know it's not a web cover by Gleason, but it's okay. I think this actually does look fantastic. Hopefully there's some first appearance stuffs in there so we can all take these couple of copies of free books that aren't free from our LCS and flip them for $5. Just kidding. I really want to talk about this one because I see and shout out to people on IG talking about this one, other YouTube channels, other podcasts, because we are the comic book knowledge, right? We bring the proper, information to YouTube for you guys to make sure that you know what's going on with comic book collecting. And this segment right here, this little story, I wanted to point out some things to you guys because I think there's a little bit of, no offense, I'm not trying to call the people out on false reporting or things, but so coming across in my newsfeed of comic book news, came across a McAllen thief pilfered $400 worth of Spider-Man comics. But they caught him. And they said that basically he had him on surveillance and he admitted. But this story goes to why those comics. And the comic that he chose was ASM 252. All right, so I was like, okay, cool. But listen, they point out that, and for the new collectors, if you're watching this show and you aren't familiar with what I'm talking about here, I'll get you up to speed. So a raw copy is a book that is not graded. So Amazing Spider-Man 252 is the first appearance of the Spider-Man's black suit. And then Secret Wars number 8 is the origin of the black suit. And it came out much later. So I promise 251. And of course there's arguments about Marvel Tales and some other things being first appearances of it. I think it's the first appearance of it in Spider-Man is the reason why it's important or something along those lines. I'll revisit that one at a later date. But anyway, the book was published January 1984. So they said that the book quickly became a collector's item. It can fetch $200 for a raw copy that has yet to be graded, as much as $6,000 for one that's been graded 9.9. First off, if a 9.9 of that book in today's market, let me look at you while I'm talking about this. First off, if a 9.9 of that hit in today's market, I don't think $6,000 would be its finishing point. I'm just saying, I think it would be way, way higher than that right now because we are in what's called a stupid hyper market, and I think that I would say definitely 5 figures, at minimum 5 figures for sure. But moving on, the author of this goes on to say a lot of things. The Kaboom Comics got it, got it back, but
They say the copy's extra rare. And I'm pointing out January 31st, 1984 is when it was released. Publishing date is May 1984. But they talk about how newsstands were returned and destroyed. And we do all know, if you are in the newsstand distribution areas, you know all too well, comebacks weren't always pulped. Sometimes they were strung up and sold to wholesale, and a lot of copies were not destroyed like they were reported they were. I know a lot of people were tearing off covers and sending them back. The ones that were torn off obviously were destroyed. We know that. But there was a lot of unsold inventory that went a lot of places because they used to go to flea markets. And I remember seeing guys deliver them. It was like, yeah, I got last week's buybacks. And, the newsstand buybacks out the back door were a thing of the 80s and 90s. Chuck from Mile High Comics also disputes what I'm about to show you here, but there's a little bit of a graph. So in 1984, if they're talking about how rare the newsstands are, well, the next slide is going to humbly disagree with that. And if I can get my tab on it. There we go. There we go, got my controls. So don't forget, newsstands were way more common because direct stores were at the time opening, and it wasn't until post 1985, somewhere in between 1985 and 1990, where the market share was 50-50. So do your due diligence. If it's a key book that you want in your collection, you gotta want all versions of it. But just remember, those late 70s books, those very early 80s, the direct books, everybody's like, oh, but they were taken care of better at stores. Well, that may be so because those stores had bags and boards. But, that's just, a distribution thing. So I get why everybody makes the argument for newsstands in their condition, but I also want to make the argument for early directs because of their rareness, their true rarity. So just keep that in mind and collect both if you really, really got to have the book. And that's going to round it out. And now we're going to get into the fun portion of the program. And I really, again, appreciate all of you guys watching, 75 live listeners. I want to give a shout out to everybody on YouTube, a shout out to everybody on Twitch, shout out to everybody on Facebook. YouTube, you're breaking over 1,000 live views, or 1,000 views, I'm sorry. I wish it was 1,000 live. That would be amazing. But we'll get there. We're not there yet, but we'll get there. And inside the speculation matrix tonight, we're going to start it off with the read pile. And of course, these spoilers are intense. And Tom, I can tell you this right now, the racks at the direct stores were the same ones that the newsstands had. They just shoved the books in them. The book in front would get a bunch of breaks. Books in the middle would be aight. Book at the back would get the back cover breaks. And last book in there was usually pretty wrangled. And there's a reason why it was the last book in there. But the stores really didn't pay attention to pulling key books like that. And they really, honestly were just as badly damaged. But all luck of the draw. But here we go, everybody. So, lots of things going on here. Okay. So, first book in the Spec Matrix tonight. First appearance is a Flatline. Thaddeus Ryerstad, who is the Nightwing, misspelled Nite-wing. That was from the Wikipedia. I don't know who that guy was. Black Swan, Respawn, and Mother Soil. So, this book opens with Damien fighting for the tournament. Mortal Kombat, anybody? So, next thing you know, he gets a dragon coin handed to him. This marker grants you access to the League of Lazarus tournament. By accepting this, you accept the rules. Just be on the boat in 15 minutes. If you're not there, you forfeit. So, I mean, seriously, is this Mortal Kombat? Because he's on a boat. And there's a bunch of other people on the boat. And they're like, I think I recognize him. Of course you recognize him. It's freaking Robin. So they arrive at Lazarus Island. Yay. And Rose is all, Kid, does you know who know you're here? Hey, kid. She knows who he is. And then he walks past this kid and he goes, nice copyright infringement. And he goes, name's Respawn. I'm the reason you're going to regret coming here. Well, I have a feeling Respawn and Lazarus, they all got something in common. Greetings. I am Mother Soul. She's the host. But you know what? Damien is a very arrogant little boy. And this arrogant little boy, in the middle of her talking about the tournament, she was going to invite people, inform them of the rules, and he says, you talk too much. Let's fight. And that was a bad move on Damien's part. And you're going to ask, why is that a bad move? Because Damien just tried to keep it real, and keeping it real is about to go real wrong for him. Because here he goes, I'm Robin, son of the Bat. My mother is the deadliest woman alive. My grandfather is the immortal Ra's al Ghul. Demon blood runs through my veins. I have done and seen more in my 14 years than all of you combined. So what would you rather, take me on one at a time or all at once? And Mother Soul here goes, well, I had hoped that we'd sit down and break bread before the fighting began in earnest, but who am I to turn down dinner and a show? And she goes, this young Robin has stepped forward, and is there any takers? Oh yeah. In like a superhero. How about that entry, right? So, this is crazy, right? So, he cracks her. Like, she flies at him, and they fight a little bit. But Damien's move that he took out the other dude earlier is going to cost him. Because in a split second, this little psychotic chick on Lazarus Island showed Damien what Mortal Kombat is and finished him. Fatality. Jeez, look at this. Damien's dead. Damien dies. There's no Robin 2. He's dead. It's over. I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing at this because this is hysterical. So Damien's first outing, Nani shows him, oh, I'm so big and bad. I'm such a badass, right? And then he gets crushed, absolutely crushed by this girl. And she basically KOs him. Kano wins. Fatality. And I guess what happens when he tries doing a Mortal Kombat tournament instead of staying in Gotham City where he should be. So let me know what you think. If you guys have read Robin #1, I see Code Red in the chat here talking about it was a great read. Other people saying I'm so glad I grabbed Robin #1. And really, just all the first appearances in here are pretty wild. But with a name like Respawn, and again, this is just Ultra Maximus's brain working here. Is Respawn just a respawned younger Deathstroke that still has his other eye? I love that idea, but we'll see what happens. I'm not writing it, so I couldn't tell you the truth. But I think that would be a pretty nifty if that was the case, right? Okay, so we got more, because I read a little bit more. So we got some first appearances. So if you guys read Way of what was it? Way of X had a first appearance in it, but also Sword had a first appearance in it. And Sword had a first appearance of one of the other mutants from Arico. And they call them Arakai. 2 Ks, 2 Is. But in this issue of Cable, they actually have the first appearance of 2 Arakai. And basically, the issue opens up. Cable is about to throw a flashbang grenade into the Haven, into the House of X. And, Professor X is in there, and he's like, I need Cerebro. And Emma Frost is like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, this was just, this is some knockout gas. I would have knocked out Xavier. I need Cerebro. I need the other guy back. And when he says, I need the other guy back, you guys got to remember something. This Cable is Kid Cable. This Cable came back in time because his timeline was being altered by Cable from our time, who is altering the timeline by keeping the younger X-Men in our timeline. I know what the Marvel Wiki says, and I know a lot of things say, but if you read Extermination basically says that they had to send those X-Men back to not cause a splintered timeline, because technically that point, that divergence point, I guess you can call it, caused a whole bunch of ruckus, and old Cable wanting to teach the X-Men how to be better X-Men, was a problem. So this version of Cable came back and exterminated him, and that's the Extermination storyline. Extermination number 1 opens with the first appearance of this version of Cable. So call it Cable 2.0 if you don't like the term Kid Cable, but this character only has maybe a couple more issues before they return him to age. That's all I can see is going on here. So Emma goes, show me what's going on. And what does she see? She actually sees both Kid Cable and what appears to be an old Cable taken down by Strife. So Emma is taking a drink, and I guess it's a little bit of stress. So maybe there's more to it. But these two mutants, the Arakai that I explained their first appearances of, have taken over a bar in London, and Cyclops and Cable go and take, because of course the way that the mutant law works, they go and they can basically say, hey, we're here to, take our people back. So Cable, using his telepathy that he's very, very powerful with, much more powerful than other versions I've seen, almost, Age of X-Man level telepathy, I think, doing interesting stuff here. Imaging. And then he says, Cyclops tells him, well done, but don't get too comfortable doing that. There's always consequences. His lives are at stake. So that's why he did it. So apparently these Arakai mutants are bullies and went and took over this bar and told them to piss off. And that was when keeping it real went wrong. Because Cyclops said, nothing is wrong with our eyes. I'm Cyclops, this is Cable. I'm not even sure how you got here, but we'd like to escort you back home. And she says she's going to escort her fist into his mouth. And that's where, again, Keep It Real went wrong. The other one started throwing some psionics blades at Cable, and they begin to fight, but they eventually get taken outside after Cyclops gets walloped a little bit. But she picks up a motorcycle and tries to hit him with it. That doesn't go very well for her. And then Cable is having a hard time with this girl playing possum. And, he shoots her. And she passes out. Now, this page is extremely important. Read it. But then we actually get to see a grown-up version of our kid Cable. And you know what that means, everybody? This is our future version of Cable. And you can tell he's got the light of Galador. He's definitely wearing a little bit more closer to the attire of the Cable that we're used to seeing. But what is going on here? Is this a Cable from the future that is coming back to replace our Cable? And is he going to return to the future? We're going to have 2 more issues, I think, 11 and 12, and then Understand. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very anxious to see, because Cable's definitely one of my favorite X characters, and I like to see him taken care of and done well. So let's see what's going on there, but that's going to round it out for what's going on in Cable. Now, this this was some nuts. Conan, hanging out at a bar, decides to get talked into robbing the Bank of Manhattan wearing a pimp suit that he stole from Sebastian Shaw. And he does it because he gets talked into it by the Rhino, and of course because the bar that they go to in issue 17 with the new Night Flyer basically is like a fly-by-night bar. And, they hide from the cops because it's all supervillains. And Conan, the Savage Avenger, is drinking with them. And he gets talked into robbing a bank with the Rhino because there's apparently a whole bunch of gold. And so Rhino decides to smash and grab, and at the same time, Pimp Daddy Fabio is over there doing, I guess, I don't know if it's a Vulcan neck pinch or whatever, but whatever he did, he took the guy out pretty quickly and then walks himself into the safe. At the same time, Rhino decides to leave a campaign slogan for Fisk, which that's hilarious. And then we have, the police obviously show up. Rhino does his thing. Spider-Man comes finally and intervenes. Obviously, he's in the book. He's on the cover, right? It's not like they would put somebody on the cover who's not in the book. And then he notices after he takes care of Rhino that, wait a minute, this guy's getting away. And Conan thinks something's going on here. And he's like, the Spider-Man suit, it gives you the power of a spider? Like, it gives you the ability to walk on walls? Take it off. And he's like, I will pay you for it. And he starts offering him cold coins. But then the dumb lummox, the Rhino, of course, likes to come through and take care of all the coins and the gold bars and mess everything up. So after the Rhino gets his ears boxed by Spider-Man, Conan again goes after Spider-Man's suit, rips off his rear, and then says, you know what, I'm going to whip out a symbiote. And then that's when Spider-Man goes, oh my god, a symbiote. So we finally get to see Conan symbiote versus Spider-Man. I don't know if this is going to be the only time we're going to get to see this actually happen, but I'm pretty sure people who dig Spider-Man versus symbiote interactions are probably going to be not on the radar for this book until much, much later, because it's Savage Avengers. I mean, I know that hardcore people are reading it, but there's a lot of cool stuff that Conan does with this. He's getting really, really good with using the symbiote sword ever since the King in Black stuff. But that's not even the good part of the issue, because, of course, Cullen Gath comes back to resurrect this guy. Oh boy, so shout out to Savage Avengers #1, which is this guy's first appearance, multiple variants, store variants, and of course a second and third print. But they're probably going to kill him again, so I wouldn't get too used to his first appearance. Pretty sure it's died down since they killed him the first time. But nonetheless, Teen Titans Academy was the last read on the read pile this evening, and I've got some more picks and some more FOC stuff, so don't worry. But this is crazy. So if you thought that Dick Grayson was going to be Red X, I mean, it's still possible, but less likely. And this is where I think Suicide Squad back issues are probably going to move, because the whole time she's thinking that he's going to kill her, and it's not these guys that she has to worry about. It's not Red X, I mean, that she has to worry about. It's these guys. So it looks like the crossover with Suicide Squad was right. If Red X is Jason Todd, that would be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I know he's always a few chess moves ahead, but it could be anybody at this point, and they're going to string it out, and they're probably going to make it multiple people. But this is also very much so kind of like the time Ronin and Red X. Leave me a comment below if you think Ronin and Red X are very, very similar in story, and if you like the way they're handling this reveal. And of course, like and share the video. And of course, if you are watching on the rewind, leave me a comment below, because there's good stuff coming. And of course, you want to subscribe to us here at Tales from the Flipside, but you also want to pay attention to the Speculation Matrix segment that you are in, because we are now into the Ultra Maximus Speculation Matrix new release picks variant edition of the new release picks out today. Which ones do I think probably are good spec plays? And look, you know, these would be books that if I had unlimited funds and I could buy every copy that I came across and sit on them and try to resell them a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, maybe grade a couple. These are the kinds of books that I'm interested in. Do I recommend that everybody buys these? Absolutely not. Recommend you invest in a house. But Mirka Andolfo, #1, or volume 2, number 6, cover A, Harley Quinn, and then the cover B, and then of course the 10 copy, the 20 copy, and your 30 copy incentives should all be, I think they're sleepers just because it's, you know, one of those transcendence of multiple properties. Nottingham #1, second print. Of course, that book's already doing well in the secondary market. Of course, Dead End Kids #4 is 1 in 5 incentive, as well as all the other 1 in 5 incentives for this series. Nakayama Chasers, I know we're looking for this book today because he does actually have a lot of people who chase his covers. Abbott 1973's Bartell incentive, as well as the black and white incentive unlockable variant they had. The foil variants were cool, but the 50 copy incentive, of course, for Berserker number 2, the high ratios and the 1 per stores are going to be what you want to be after. Dune for you Frisian chasers, of course, if you're able to pick up a cover A, that's probably a pretty good hold for people. As the community grows again with people chasing paper books, some of these people who are going to be chasing some of these slab copies, I mean, these are obvious low print independent titles that have popular artists doing variant covers, are perfect slab submissions. I should follow my own advice a little bit more. Firefly #28, cover C, of course, with a 10 copy incentive by Bengal. And then, of course, your 50 copy Virgin incentive by Mare. And then, of course, your Unlockable by Ruben. I like the Cyberpunks. Of course, I did personally nab both of these covers. And I think they're just, it's a niche book for sure, but I think the read is probably going to be good. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, and of course, Baroness covers just do well. And then 10 copy, of course. So A, B, and C, and then of course, My Little Pony Transformers 2, 10 copy incentive, and your 25 copy incentive. And then, yeah, you know, Sagio Jimbo, #6 of 6, Peach Momoko variant. The incentive by Betterman. The 100 copy incentive foil variant, obviously going to be chased. And as a Nirvana fan, I bought this just because the guy was wearing a Nirvana shirt. Just because. Department of Truth, #8. You know what's sad? It's classic rock. I'm old. #8, Department of Truth, cover B. And I really got to get caught up on this one. Last book I flipped through was issue 4, so it looks like I got to reread issues 1 through 8 and see where it takes me. Of course, I need free time to do that. Geiger, second print, of course. If there's lots of stores who had first print on the shelves, nobody ordered it. Second print, 25 copy incentive. But if they played it close to the chest, you know, then they definitely had it. Spawns, the McFarlane cover, the Matina cover, and of course the black and white variant, pretty cool looking. Stray Dogs, second print, obviously. This book is getting popular with every issue released, so stores aren't upping their orders because they're tripping second print still. So that means that they're not satisfying the demand, which is pretty cool to see. Harley Quinn #2, Chew card stock variant, and then of course Nightwing 78, which has some first appearances in it. Robin #1, of course. And you know, this is one of the few books that I actually believe I put all 4 covers on here. One of the few. So that's a good spec play. I mean, and DC obviously is really tough spec play wise, but you know, it's really good long term. And again, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about that kind of stuff. And of course, if you guys like these books and you want a chance to win a box that has insane variants, you know, I think that box may even actually have an Extermination #1 second print in it. If you want to know what's in that box, well, first off, we hit 500 subscribers twice on my channel, and I want to give a shout out to everybody who was watching live on Drunken Chat on Friday night, and of course everybody was watching on Spine Ticks when I made an appearance there, and they helped me get over again. somebody unsubscribed from my channel and dropped my list back down to 493, and then I had to get back over 500 again. It's one of those situations. I don't know exactly what happened there, but that's what happened. But you know what? I'm fine with it. And with that being said, I'm over 500 now, so I got a giveaway video planning I'm going to be doing, so be on the lookout for that. And you're going to want to follow me on all of the, all the different places. But there's a little show I do called The Secret Variant on Sundays. And if you are into not missing books on FOC, you're going to want to tune in. And you want to do that because we're about to go back through the Ghosts of Monday, which is the FOC review, and you are going to want to maybe run, drive, fly, shoot an email, smoke signals, whatever you can do to make sure that these books that went on final order cutoff are going to be in your box. So Fortnite 0.2 second print, which has the same code offering from Fortnite 0.2, I believe. I don't know if all four of them have codes, but number 2 second printing went on FOC already, and it's not even out. Number 31 from Catwoman gives us a whoa. Yeah, I thought it was Joelle Jones, but it's not. And the Frisian cover. So Catwoman 31, both covers are absolute fire. And then Brett Booth delivering on Flash 770 cover B cardstock. Hey, my man, you can find me on IG at UltraMaximus. And you can also find me on Facebook at UltraMaximus. You can find me on YouTube at Ultra Space Maximus. Those links should not be dead by any means, but maybe I'll update them. But this little one snuck in on FOC, everybody, if you didn't check this one. If you were watching Spine Takes on Saturday night. Because I do my FOC show so late on Sundays, right? Like I go live on Sundays around 11 p.m. So I understand it's late, and it's probably a show best for Monday mornings if you don't have time to watch on Sunday nights. But the DC snuck this cover in on us, and this is the Matina second print of Joker number 2. So as you know, with Bane's daughter, it's a little bit of a weird scenario that we're dealing with here because they also decided to give a second print 1 in 25 incentive. Which one's going to be less common? The 1 in 50 from the first print? Probably. But I probably see this one, doing well. Legends of the Dark Knight number 1's got a 1 in 25 incentive by Riccardo Federici. And then also one of the minimum order qualifiers, a 250 minimum order qualifier. The Francesco Francavilla. Now, trifecta of first appearances from what I'm being told is this Nightwing number 80. And there's your cover A. And then your Jamal Campbell cardstock variant with him making the Nightwing symbol on some clotheslines. Here's the Joelle Jones cover I had her on my mind for. Wonder Girl number 1, cover A, and again, she's been known as Wonder Woman in other places, but has she appeared as Wonder Girl anywhere else? And yes, Cosmic One, because FOC is one day early, when I do my own FOC show on Sunday night at 11 p.m., you actually have 6.5 days to do your FOC for DC and some of the other titles that are through that distribution service, because I don't want you to know about what just closed on FOC when I do my show, but some of these books that I'm showing you here, they're tough. So I do my best to try to cover as much as possible. Now, this Wonder Girl 1 in 25 incentive as a 1 in 25 was a really, really good idea because this is going to... They figured out how to bump their orders to get people up to the 1 in 50. They said, offer a Jeff Scott Campbell 1 in 25 and more people will get those so we can get people to buy the 1 in 50. And then a minimum order qualifier, 250 copy minimum order qualifier, just like the others. And then Now we're going to get into some other ones. So here we go with the Sumerian Iron Shadows in the Moon. Number 2, cover A. And the cover D, which is Fantastic Four 235's cover swipe. Or 234, I can't remember. I think it's 234. Yeah, but this and this are going to mirror the 10 copy incentive and the 20 copy incentive. Thought those were really cool homages. This one I think is going to do well just because steampunk probably has a little bit of a cult following, and it's a coloring book. And of course, of the Minky Woodcock, Girl Who Electrified Tesla, number 2. I like the cover A, and I like the cover C. Berserker number 2, second print. Luna number 4. And that's your 10 copy incentive, of course. And then Magic the Gathering has got a third printing up already. Just keep getting deep into these later prints. Power Rangers number 7's 50 copy incentive by Peach Momoko doing a Lord Dracon. That's pretty awesome looking. I thought this was a sick looking cover. We can only find them when we're dead. Number 6, cover B. Of course, there was a couple of incentives for that book, but if you're chasing that book, you probably already know about those. Godzilla Monsters and Protectors number 2's 1 in 10 incentive, and now that we know it is indeed Mothra that he's going up against, I think it's pretty cool for the retail incentive of cover A of retail incentive of cover of number 1. And then of course TMNT Best of Splinter only has a cover, no variants, no cover B, no nothing. And of course that bright pink, it's going to show every spine break, kind of like that Unsacred negative variant does. Transformers number 30, 10 copy incentive, and of course Cyclonus and one of the Torchbearers. Transformers Back to the Future number 4, 10 copy incentive. And then Transformers Beast Wars got a 10 copy Dan Kana incentive with no cover art available at the moment, but probably going to be on the low order side. I don't know how many stores are ordering Beast Wars. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if your store is ordering heavy on it. And if you guys are seeing those incentive variants in your LCSs, even the B covers I've seen, to not be heavily ordered in my local area. Geiger number 1, again, going third print. So stores who may have missed out on the second print may have ordered a third print if they still want to get a hold of that. And then Radiant Black is dropping a third print, number 1, with these variant covers, of course. So there's a 10 copy incentive available, basically a black and white version. And then, of course, Radiant Black number 2 has also got a third print. And guess what? They're also going to drop you an incentive on that one. And then, of course, your Radiant Black number 4 going to come out the same day. And then it's got a 25 copy incentive with a helmet reflection in space. And, it looks really, really cool. I really want to read this whole 5-issue miniseries once this book comes out. Read it on a straight shot just to see what it offers. And this is Rain Like Hammers. Stillwater, of course, just sick looking cover. And then of course Stray Dogs, and their movie variant covers are awesome. Doing good things in my LCSs. And then of course this looks just like all the keys that they were setting up in King and Black about how Black Knight is basically the opposite of Thor, but looks like they're going to team up and do something in here. It looks like somebody's going to get hit. And then of course the 25 copy incentive by Stephanie Hans. Champions number 7, looks like something's going down. Vision, all of them. And then, I'm absolutely blown away that she is still Daredevil, but I'm wondering if that's going to happen much longer. Fantastic Four, Life Story, the Brett Booth variant. Just a great cover. Reminds me of the Jim Lee Fantastic Four run, because Brett Booth and him, of course, have very similar styles. This is your Rivera variant for Fantastic Four. Life Story, number 1. And then, of course, Mighty Valkyries, number 2, Momoko Virgin cover. Shang-Chi, number 1, with the Cho variant. And, of course, it's got that Spider-Man background, so I'm wondering if there's a Spider-Man showing up. But Superlog just absolutely delivering on this cover. And then Jeff Scott Campbell giving us a non-typical one of his. A little bit more action going on. I like the detail. I like the background. And, of course, Campbell does well in the aftermarket. Silk #1 second print, which has got her basically just mask off version of her regular cover. So that's going to be real fun finding that one in back bins when we go covered, back issue diving. And then Star Wars Bounty Hunters got the Crimson variant. And then we made it, everybody. So, fam, if you remember way back when, some of the Modern Playbook people and Drunken Chat people might remember me talking about this one. I said they're going to go 5. It looks like this may be the final print here because they're just doing a black and white version of the Yay cover, which I think is probably even more reason why it's probably going to be the last one. So if this one is going to be the last one, then I did it and I made the call and I made the correct call saying that we were going to go 5 prints. I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up, but I might have to just because, I don't know. But it's past FOC. So if it's snuck in and people order it heavy and it trips a 6 print, wow. Star Wars High Republic #2 4th print, however, and then #3 3rd print are also coming through. And then you're also going to want to take a look at the Trials of Ultraman #3 Art Adams Kaiju variant. And then Way of X #2 variant by Christian Ward. And that's going to round it out for this, for all of the FOC stuff. And again, if you guys really want to tune in, be sure to subscribe to Ultra Maximus, and you will tune into the secret variant, and you won't miss any of that stuff. But right now, you're watching Tales from the Flipside. And on Tales from the Flipside, you are tuning in to the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, which I hope you are subscribed to because we do go live here Wednesday nights, approximately 10:15 p.m. Eastern. And again, I'm your humble host, Ultra Maximus. I appreciate you guys tuning in because it means the world to me that you tune in live, that you watch our channel, that you watch our content. And again, you can find me on Facebook at UltraMaximus. And Twitter, UltraMaximus at XUltraMaximusX. I assure you, they are correctly spelled. And then also, I want to give a shout out because tomorrow night I got invited to come on Team Nerd Herd for a special mail call session. And I got some books that are coming down to the wire in the mail that I hope make it because it's going to be wild. It's going to be a good time. And if you aren't subscribed to them, please be sure to drop them a subscription too. Again, in this tide of comic book entertainment on YouTube, rising tide raises all ships, baby. So make sure that you are subscribing to everybody who does comic book content. Remember, we are the TV now. So I do want to thank everybody for watching. Again, it means the world to me that you stuck around through this show. I hope I provided you with wonderful, wonderful entertainment. And if I didn't, leave me hate mail below. I'd like to know what you think. But we're going to tune out. And as we tune out, I'm going to go back through the chat and give some shouts on the highlight. So I want to thank everybody for watching the show tonight. And I do, again, appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in to Flipside.